gosh. So I am 55 years old, child-free by choice. I knew at the age of 7 years old that I would never want to have children. And by the grace of God, that decision has never wavered. I also knew that if I ever...
How you know since 7 though? That sound like cap. Like, how you remember when you were 7 years old, first of all? You know what I'm saying? You 55. But that sound like cap.
Ever got to be the old age of in my 50s like I am now, and if I ever wanted kids, I could always adopt, right? So, what does it look like for me being child-free by choice at the age of 7, since the age of 7? It has meant a life of complete and total freedom, a life of joy, a life of non-aging, as we can see. There's no filler or Botox in this face.
Yeah, but black don't crack though, girl. Black don't crack, man. Black don't crack, bro. Anyway.
I was able to retire from corporate America at the age of 38 years old to travel the world and live abroad in luxury and style, and I'm still doing that all these years later, all these decades later. I live abroad, I travel, I have businesses, I have money. Oh my gosh. I don't have stress, I don't have worry, I have joy. It's amazing being child-free for me. Now, to all of your friends and family that are telling you that you're going to somehow be jealous of those that have children and you're going to have all this regret, don't believe them. What they're telling you is a total lie, and it is a complete and total scam. Trust me, those of us that are child-free by choice have never looked at our friends that have kids and said, oh, I really wish I would have made that choice. No, said none of us ever. In fact, people that have children, and God bless you. You guys, parenthood is one of the hardest things you could ever do in life. God bless all parents, Lord knows. But parents look at us that are child-free and they channel that as jealousy of us because we have our freedom. So I just call it as it is. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
That's a pretty, I was talking shit earlier, man. You do what you want to do, man. But that's a pretty broad generalization. You know what I mean? There's plenty of parents that are extremely happy with their children. Just like on the flip side, there's parents that are probably jealous of a woman coming from this perspective, but you can't speak for all of them. You know what I mean? Like that's stupid. And there's plenty of, I gotta go back and see what she said, like those who chose to be child free. But let me go back and see if she said that.
Now, to all of your friends and family that are telling you that you're going to somehow be jealous of those that have children and you're going to have all this regret, don't believe them. What they're telling you is a total lie, and it is a complete and total scam. Trust me, those of us that are child-free by choice have never looked at our friends that
you said child-free by choice. You can't make those broad generalizations. I wouldn't even know, the percentages. I'm not trying to speak for the exception, right? But I'd imagine there's a lot of women specifically that probably chose to be child-free, and then minds have changed as they've gotten older, and perspectives change and priority shifts, and you come into wanting children, and it gets too late at that point, right? But I just don't know the percentage game. But the broad generalizations, man, I can't get down with that. That's just not accurate.
Kids and said, oh, I really wish I would have made that choice. No, said none of us ever. In fact, people that have children, and God bless you. You guys, parenthood is one of the hardest things you could ever do in life. God bless all parents, Lord knows. But parents look at us that are child-free and they channel that as jealousy of us because we have our freedom. So I just call it as it is. Don't hate the player, hate the game. So what I want to say to you is, do you make your own choices, live your own life, and enjoy your peace. And if you're soliciting advice from these people, please don't solicit it. And if they offer it, which people tend to do that have children, why don't you just go raise your kids and be happy and do you? It's so weird. It's really weird, people. It's weird. If they give that advice, just let them know that you don't need it and you're good. So I hope this helps. Being child-free at 55 years old means complete and total joy, more choices. Last summer, because Mexico where I live is so hot, I moved to Istanbul, Turkey for the whole summer, had a ball. This summer, I'll be in Europe gallivanting around, having a free hot girl summer. So being child-free equals freedom.
That was, you lost me, bro. I'm with her, man. Outside the generalizations, cool. You having a good time being child free, it's cool. But you 55 years old talking about a hot girl summer. If you don't sit your motherfucking geriatric ass down somewhere, man, that made this come across as disingenuous. I mean, like, you're fighting from this stance to empower, I guess, more women to be child free and not take the traditional route of, you know, what women have been doing since the beginning of time to sustain life here on the planet Earth, which is, you know, do what you want to do. But that sounds crazy. You 55 years old. You damn near 60. Having a hot girl summer should not even be in your vocabulary. And then at the same time, she's traveling from country to country, living life up. Cool. You know what I mean? But you 55. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have all the choices. You got money, this, that, and the third, man. But as time progresses, unless you're in a community full of like child-free people, then cool. But I don't think I don't think that's a situation, because you're moving from country to country to country by yourself, I'm assuming, right? So that sounds like an awfully lonely life to have, right? Especially with no children. You got nobody checking for you, looking out for you. Like, you just sound like a independent man. But I think it would be safe to assume that the majority of people, period, man or woman, like, the older you get, you know, the more things are going to slow down and family becomes more important, right? And if you don't have no family to go to call your own, that just sounds lonely as fuck. Like, I'm 55 years old. I think about that too. Like, for me personally, like, I had children at the perfect age. I'd had my life, had fun, this, that, and the third. Like, that traveling the world, moving from country to country to country, don't even sound appealing to me anymore, because I'm just past that, right? But anyway, that's just, you know, my anecdotal experience, man. But imagine if I was like 45, 50, 55 years old, bouncing around from country to country to country when all my homeboys is having kids, having babies, getting married, you know, having families and shit. My goddamn solo bachelor ass out here just, you know, moving from country to country to country. I don't know, partying it up, socializing. Like, that sounds like a lonely ass fucking life. Like, what the hell your ass out there doing in Istanbul by yourself? And what does a fucking hot girl summer even look like for a 55-year-old woman? She lost credibility with me at that point, man. But like I say, people are free to do with their life as they see fit. But every choice has a result, man. And being child free at 60.
I wish the best to you. And if you decide you want to change it in the future, you can always freeze your eggs now and have kids later by surrogate or what have you. You can always adopt, or you can get a puppy. All right, I hope this helps.
Yeah, she sounds crazy. She sounds crazy, bro. Like, it sounds inauthentic. Her glow is too much, too. It's like, bro, your ass is corny happy. You know what I mean? I think you doing all this shit for the camera. All right, I smell bullshit.